Trial chambers, the breeze, the maze, villager trade rebalance, penguins, and an end update will or might be added to Minecraft at some point. But exactly what will we get in the new update, and what can we expect to see in the future of Minecraft? A huge new feature with a bunch of extra stuff will be added in the new update on June the 13th. Some of these predictions will most likely be released November or December this year or June 2025, and the rest of them might get into an update around June 2025 or June 2026 based on previous release patterns. Some of it is set in stone and other features are mere rumors. Let's take a look at all the things that will or might be added to the game in the future of Minecraft. My name is MagentaLewi, and if you want to help a small YouTuber grow, then please do leave a like on the video or maybe even subscribe if you haven't done so already. I cover all the essential updates and make fun content beside that as well. The first update we'll go through is 1.21, the Tricky Trials, releasing June the 13th. My latest video, What's New in Minecraft 1.21, goes through everything new in this update, but let's do a relatively short recap. The main thing of the update is, of course, the Trial Chambers, a new structure found in the deep slate layers of the world. They consist of multiple rooms with trapped rooms, loot, safe areas, and of course, combat challenges. The combat challenges are areas with multiple trial spawners that spawn waves of a specific mob, and if all is defeated, the trial spawner will eject loot and maybe even a trial key. This key can be used to open trial vaults, new chests that each player can unlock only once, to get pretty good loot like diamonds, enchanted gear, golden apples, and ominous bottles. Now these ominous bottles can be consumed to get the bad omen effect, and if the player with bad omen goes to a trial spawner, it will convert into trial omen, and the mobs will be stronger, but the loot will be better. Amongst that better loot, we find ominous keys that opens ominous vaults that have even better loot. Among this loot, we also find 2 new armor trims, 3 new music discs, 3 new shirts, and actually also a trident. Now this bad omen also changes raids, as the player no longer get bad omen automatically by killing a raid captain. No, the captain now drops an ominous bottle, and if a player brings bad omen to a village, it will convert to raid omen, and then the raid is on. In the trial chambers, we also find the new mob, the breeze. A new blaze-like mob that shoots wind charges that yeet the players into the air and interact with items in the world. It's tough, but fun to catch. Another new mob in these structures is the Bugged, a new skeleton covered in mushrooms that shoots poison arrows. They also naturally spawn in swamps and mangrove swamps now. Another piece of ominous loot is the heavy core, that combined with the breeze rod dropped by the breeze creates the mace, the new weapon of Minecraft. Very simply put, the higher the player falls to attack with the mace, the more damage it does. 3 new exclusive enchantments makes it super overpowered, but super fun to use. 3 new effects have been added, with Infested giving a 10% chance of spawning 1 to 2 silverfish when hurt, Oozing causing 2 slimes to spawn upon death, and Weaving causing 2 to 3 cobwebs to spawn upon death. We also got 20 new paintings and of course the crafter, an automatically crafting block that crafts the recipe inside it every time it's powered by redstone. And that is the main things in this update. Once again, if you want to know more and get more details about the new features of this update, go to my video about it linked in the description and up in the flag in the corner. The next update we'll talk about is 1.22, which has yet to be announced, so although the features mentioned here are highly likely to happen, it is all full speculation at this point. This update will probably be released this November or December, or maybe in June 2025. I've been talking about bundles on this channel for 4 years now, and they've still not been added to the game. Announced at Minecraft Live 2020 and only added as an experimental feature since then, the bundle could make its official entrance in 1.22. Mojang pushed it back to improve it further, partially because the community expected a better storage solution, but since then Mojang hasn't changed it at all, and the community has found some use of the current state of the bundle, so I think they might as well just add it for good now. The other most likely addition to 1.22 is the other experimental feature, the villager trait rebalance. The villagers has been OP since the Village and Pillage update back in 2019, and Mojang has talked about nerfing them since then. That's why they've played around with a nerf that also comes with certain benefits, but they're still working on it. Now, the villagers will get you fully geared in Enchanted Diamond within a few days of trading. But with the new nerf of not being able to stack discounts when curing more than once since 1.20.2, combined with the experimental features, this might be changing completely next update. This feature removes the random roll of librarians and armorers, as the player will go to a snowy biome to get Silk Touch from a librarian and to the swamp biomes to get Mending, and the armorer will now ask for a small number of diamonds for his gear. Now, to help find more villages, cartographers will sell maps leading to other villagers. And finally, the wandering trader will also buy stuff for emeralds and have a few better traits than before. This experimental feature is very much experimental and not super popular, as it is much more grindy than before, but everything leads to Mojang launching this or something similar very, very soon. And remember, it is also nice to not have to roll your librarians over and over and over again, but actually have a set way of actually getting what you want. Of course, we just need to find a proper way to make that happen without too much grind. Another very likely addition in 1.22 is an overhaul of the Savannah, the Desert, or the Badlands. Savannah and Desert were part of the biome vote in 2018 with the winning Taiga, while Badlands were part of the 2019 biome vote with the winning Mountains, and now with the Swamp that got an overhaul in 1.19. So in only 2 votes, 3 out of 6 biomes has gotten an overhaul, and I believe the others will too down the road. Both Savannah and Desert have gotten updates with Suspicious Sand and the Armadillo, and the Badlands are already rare and special, so which one they'll pick, only time can tell. Overall, I'm sure they'll add more atmosphere to all biomes like fallen trees, new plant life, and more ambient mobs like birds and bugs. I'm also certain that Mojang will at some point make an end update. This is one of the most requested changes to the game, and Mojang has been doing a lot of fan service for the last few updates. If they are brave enough to do this massive task for the next update, that might be the theme in 1.22. They did it with the Nether, so it's obviously possible to upgrade a whole dimension to something amazing. It is now possible to live your whole Minecraft life in the Nether, and they could make that possible in the end as well. More structures, new biomes, new features, and new mobs in this purple, scary dimension would be so cool to see. Weird mobs, structures with special loot, purple trees, and so on. I don't want to speculate too much on this, as Mojang usually finds a way to make something surprisingly unique. Another very likely addition to Minecraft 1.22 is more workstations. We got 2 special furnaces, a cartography table for maps, brewing stand for potions, composter for converting items to bone meal, stone cutters for stone cutting, looms for banners, smithing tables for netherite and armor trims, grindstone for repairing and disenchanting, and the fletching table for arrows. Well, no! Still no use for the fletching table. This has to be added soon so we have a simple, smart way to craft special arrows, especially with the new arrows added in 1.21. Other than that, it has earlier been mentioned that they might add a firework customization block, which would be super neat as these recipes get quite complicated at times. Maybe a painting workstation, more cooking stations, or a Java version of coloring leather armor would be super cool to see. Finally, for Minecraft 1.22, I think it's very likely that we'll see specific mobs return or get introduced for the first time. Mainly, I'm sure we'll get more ancient mobs, as the Sniffer was introduced as the first ancient mob. In other words, we'll get more ancient mobs down the line for sure. And while on the topic, I hope to see the flowering wall plant that was part of a leak that also included the picture part that got added in a snapshot only a few weeks later. This vine-like flower would be so cool to get as well, and I think it would make more players use the sniffer. Other mobs that might get added in 1.22 are mostly the penguin. To my understanding, this was the most popular mob of last mob vote. It just had the least popular feature, thus getting the least votes. But the mob itself would add some needed life to boring areas. And come on, I mean, a penguin. We need that. Everybody loves penguins. If we can get mobs from earlier mob votes, the fan favorite copper golem from the vote in 2021 will definitely get added. Especially as Jens mentioned that they'd add losing mobs if and when they fit and they can be prioritized. Maybe even the losing mobs from the Chinese National Treasure vote could be added, giving us white-lipped deer, alligators, snub-nosed monkeys, and badgies. That was all my predictions of what we would most likely be getting in Minecraft 1.22, and I'd love to hear your thoughts of this down in the comments below. So finally, we'll go through rumors and features that might be a part of the unplanned Minecraft 1.23 update. Now this update will probably be released in June 2025 or June 2026. None of the things I mentioned here has been confirmed to ever get added, but they've all been mentioned, teased, or wished for, just like it took 10 years for the Cherry Grove to be added after being teased in 2013. The newest and most relevant rumor I could find was the Skulk Jaw, a block shown in Minecraft Live 2020 as part of the Deep Dark. It was also referred to as the Skulk Trap, and it is presumed it would do damage or catch the player if stepped on. In the end, it was scrapped due to a lag in design, but I personally think it would still fit right in the Deep Dark cities, and therefore it could still be added later down the line. Especially since Mojang earlier mentioned the spike block, another trap-like block that would extend spikes to damage players. So I think the Skulk Jaw would be a cool revisit to that idea. Since it's now been confirmed that losing mobs from earlier votes might return at some point, we could take a look at all the so far unmentioned mobs. This includes the probably not so likely to join mobs as the Glare, the Rascal, and the Tough Golem that all lost their votes pretty significantly. But never say never, I think they all had potential. Looking at the vote back in 2017 that the Phantom won, it was extremely close between them all. And seeing the wildfire in Minecraft Dungeons and countless mods, I think they should revisit that idea. Talking about close votes, both Moobloom and especially the Isolager were extremely close to winning their respective votes, and both have been in mods and fan art ever since, so I think we might get them in the game someday. Talking about mentioned mobs, Agnes mentioned that she'd love to add a sloth to the game at some point, and I think they'd be a cute and fitting addition as well. And finally, in the mob department, we can still summon the Illusioner, but he has yet to get his place in the official game. When, Mojang? When will you let this guy officially join? Another rumor and unused feature is the big Warden structure with reinforced deep slate. This unique looking block still has no use and is unobtainable. The most common guess and wish from the community is that it would lead to a new dimension, and if Mojang ever adds another dimension, I'm sure this is the spot where the portal can be activated. It's just too odd not to do something more with this. And we've seen multiple times now with the April Fool's updates that they can make more interesting and fun dimensions, and the community loves to play around with it. And yeah, I know they added the reinforced deep slate as like a mystery block. They wanted people to question what this block is and what it's used for and why it can't be used for anything really. But I just still feel like it should be used for something. Like, people are forgetting it now since it was added. Like, it's just a waste in my opinion with such a cool looking block as well. Another change I've talked about in earlier videos is the combat changes that have been worked on since 2019. They've never been in the main game, but snapshots with these combat tests were released on Reddit. The changes include new reach, damage and attack speed for all weapons, making bows better if shot fast, giving the axe a new enchantment, and much more. The tests got a lot of updates in a year, but they haven't been updated since August 2023, so I doubt we will see it in the main game anytime soon now, although I'm sure they'll come at some point. The final guess for Minecraft 1.23 is partially based on a personal wish. Back in 1.19, when goat horns were added, they shortly also added copper horns. Goat horns infused with copper that would play a short but longer musical bit than normal goat horns. They could be played in 3 different ways, with a variant for each variant of goat horn, giving the player at the time 30 unique sounds in the game through the copper horn. Sadly, this was removed again as they weren't satisfied with it, but I think this gave the casual vanilla player a cool alternative to the custom goat horns and music discs from all the big SMPs. So I'm hoping to see a return of this feature someday, also just because I personally found it so fun to play these horns. And with all that, I hope you found this video informative, useful, or maybe just fun to watch. If you did, then please do leave a like or maybe even subscribe if you haven't done that already. It really does help me grow the channel, so thank you so much in advance. Check out the description where you'll find links to all my socials, a link to my Minecraft server, and my second channel as well. With all that out of the way, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.